Hello, Istanbul. Yeah, my name is Denis. I'm creator, core contributor to Ignite, and we will indeed be talking about building dApps as app chains in very short amount of time and very easily. So what is Ignite? Ignite is a team focused on accelerating the internet of blockchains by building tools for developers to make it easier for them to implement their ideas as app chains, as independent blockchains in the Cosmos ecosystem and beyond. We have a robust set of tooling like Ignite CLI, we have an accelerator, and we're working on an Ignite Launchpad to help launch blockchains very easily. So what is Cosmos? Cosmos is not a blockchain. It's actually a growing network of interoperable blockchains where each application is implemented as a sovereign independent chain that is interoperable with everything else in the ecosystem and beyond. So it's more than 50 blockchains connected with the IBC protocol, and it's growing every month. It's securing billions of dollars worth of value, and transaction count is increasing every month. So let's look into Cosmos a bit deeper. Instead of necessarily writing smart contracts and deploying them to a single chain, the way you build in Cosmos is you build an independent chain and connect it to other chains. It's that simple. So your chain is running your application, but it's not siloed in. It's actually very much interoperable. Users can send tokens, NFTs, and any other valuables from chain to chain very easily. So that's the main difference. Instead of smart contracts, you build chains. Ignite CLI is a very powerful developer tool that lets developers quickly get up and running with building independent blockchains, and has been around for more than 2 years now. And dozens of blockchains have used it to get from zero to mainnet in a very short amount of time. You can see some of them in the list. It's, of course, free and open source, so you can download it right now and use it. So let's go over some features of the CLI. The CLI is just a binary that you install in your machine. Very easy to install. It features powerful code scaffolding, so with one command you get a new blockchain. You get a hot reloading server, so the iterations are very quick. You can start your node with just one command and see it running locally. It's built with Cosmos SDK, which is a powerful framework for building blockchains. And it features additional functionality like generating clients for your chain so that you can easily build a web application, for example. And we recently added functionality to also coordinate a launch of your chain. So it's not only for building a chain, but also for launching it. So Cosmos blockchains are very modular. Every piece of functionality is stored in a separate module, and they talk to each other. So you have a separate module for bank, for staking, for minting tokens, and you have custom modules for your functionality. So each blockchain has this set of modules and more. And you have users that broadcast transactions that contain messages that modify the state of these modules. So let's try using Ignite CLI. With just one command, you install it. It's a single binary in your machine, and you can run Ignite scaffold chain, my chain, and you get a brand new blockchain on your machine. So that's cool. It includes staking. It's a proof of stake blockchain. It includes bank module, a governance module, and many other standard modules for working with NFTs, for example. But that's just the beginning, right? You probably need more than just that. So let's say you want to build a blog on your blockchain. Of course, you probably wouldn't, but this is a very simple example. So you type Ignite scaffold module blog, and now you get a new empty module. It doesn't do anything, but you don't have to write all this code. You just execute one command, and you get the code you need for a brand new module. Get hooked up to the system, so you can dive in and build out your application. So now we'll do something more interesting. Now we can go inside this module and generate the code for a list of posts, right? Let's say your blog is dealing with posts, and each post has a title and a body. So of course you can go and write all this code yourself, but Ignite is smart enough to write this code for you, so you don't have to. So what this command does is it generates all the types and all the functions to create, read, update, and delete blog posts. This is very powerful for prototyping. It's powerful for writing production code, so you don't have to focus on the boilerplate. But it's also very helpful when you want to learn how all of this works, because you can just generate a blockchain, add some types to it, and see how it's implemented. And now you know how to build it yourself next time. So of course, you're not only limited to creating and reading and updating data. You can write your custom messages, right? And that's most likely what you're going to be doing when building your application as an independent blockchain. So you can use Ignite to also scaffold empty messages. They are not going to do anything, but you will get all the boilerplate code, and you can go inside and write the logic of what it is to write a comment, for example. Right? So it's that easy. You can prototype your application in just 7, 8 commands, and you get the skeleton, and you can go in and modify the code. It's all written in Go, so it's a very simple general purpose language, so you don't have to learn much. And it takes just a couple of days to get a hang of basic concepts of Go. So yeah, you write the logic. Let's say you modify the state and attach comments to blog posts, and here you go. You got yourself a custom blockchain. It didn't take long. We have a set of tutorials on our website, and some tutorials are just 20 minutes. You can start by dedicating 20 minutes. Then there are tutorials that are a couple of hours, and it goes up to building a proper DEX, which might take you a couple of days, but then you will know pretty much all there is to know about building blockchains with Ignite and Cosmos. So once your blockchain is in a state where you want to check it out, you can run Ignite chain serve, and it will start a local node on your machine, and your blockchain will be running on a single validator on your laptop. This is very useful, so you can use the CLI of your blockchain to interact with it, to populate the data, to see how it works, maybe do some testing. So the purpose of Ignite is to make all of this very, very easy, right? You don't need to make files, you don't need to do any extra work, just run one command and you have a blockchain running locally. So Ignite goes a step beyond that. So after we implemented the functionality for building blockchains, we quickly realized that the next step is to allow people to easily launch chains. And that's the second big part of what Ignite offers. So after your blockchain is ready for your first testnet, you will use Ignite CLI to publish it online. And potential validators will see this blockchain published and might be interested, right? They will read the description, they will learn more about your project, realize that this is something that they are interested in, and apply to become validators for your blockchain. As a coordinator, you will approve or reject them based on who you want in your validator set. And Ignite is focused on launching sovereign chains right now, so each chain will have its own validator set. You will approve, reject them. You will make changes to the Genesis file, which is the 0 block of your chain. And when your Genesis is ready, you will trigger the launch. And now validators can use Ignite to pull the latest Genesis file and start their nodes. It doesn't take more than 30 minutes to launch a testnet with your friends, for example. So we reduced the barrier to entry greatly to allow anyone, literally any developer, to start building with Ignite and Cosmos. So not only can you build, but you can also launch your chain very, very quickly. Of course, it goes beyond that. So we realize that building and launching chains is great, but your chain is also it needs you need to interact with your chain. You need to be able to build clients that interact with your chain very easily. So we have the functionality to generate TypeScript clients for your chain, and you execute one command and you get an SDK for your chain's client developers. We do the same for Go. We have a library that you can use, and you can see a very simple example of how to interact with your chain. And you can build your clients in Go, for example, if it's a server-side client. We go further than that, and we include a comprehensive, sophisticated template with Vue and now React, so you can start building your client very easily. So you don't need to learn how to build a web application for a Cosmos blockchain from scratch. You already get a working front end that has token transfer functionality that lists all your assets and connects you to a wallet. So all the boring bits are already done, and you can focus on implementing the logic of your chain. So by providing all the tools that a developer might need, starting from scaffolding the Go code to launching your chain to generating the client-side code, we provide the whole set of tools a developer might need. So there's really no reason not to try this and see maybe your idea is better implemented as a sovereign independent chain with its own validator set. So I encourage you to join our community and check out Ignite on GitHub. If you're a developer, it's incredibly easy to just run one command. It downloads a single binary, and now you can go through tutorials and experiment with building blockchains. You don't even have to install it, actually. On GitHub, you can find the link to a virtual machine, so you can try it out in a Visual Studio Code-like environment in the browser. So it's exactly the same Ignite binary, and you can try it out even on your iPad. So you can create a chain and actually launch it without even using a proper computer. So we, as I said, we have a comprehensive set of tutorials that go from Hello World to building an order book-based IBC-enabled DEX. We have a community on Discord where we're very active and we're answering all the questions there. So I welcome you on our Discord server. Follow us on Twitter, of course. And I just wanted to mention, even though I did talk about Cosmos, Ignite is not only for Cosmos, right? It's a general purpose tool for building decentralized applications as independent blockchains. And over the past year, we've seen many projects migrating to Cosmos. Some of them are using Ignite because they are hitting the limitations of smart contract platforms. So if your project is pretty small, it's just kind of an experiment, it's perfectly fine to use smart contracts. It's a great technology. You can actually add smart contract support to Ignite Chain very easily. But if you're building something very serious, or your requirements are different from what popular chains can offer, maybe you even need to build a private chain or a proof of authority chain, or you want to add EVM support or something that the chain you're building for doesn't offer, you can do that with Ignite. So it's arguably the most flexible platform you can build with, because it gives you control over the full stack of your blockchain, from Tendermint Core at its foundation to Cosmos SDK to how you use IBC protocol. So it's both very straightforward and easy to start building, and it's very powerful because you can literally build anything you want with Ignite. So yeah, I encourage you to join us. If you have questions, we have a booth. We'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions, and we have 2 workshops tomorrow. So I invite you to join us there. Thank you so much, and have a good day.